All right, here we go. So I suppose that you guys came to my session because you love art just like me. Hopefully. Hold on. It's doing something crazy. I can do this. Present. I put share, not present. After lunch is always hard, right? Kind of out of it. We can do it. Okay, it's loading. Come on, Zoom. There we go. Anyways, so I am an artist and I considered going to art school, but instead I became a teacher, but I taught art to my students. Right now, I am presently, I am an ed tech research teacher. I'm the only I'm a coach, a technology coach for 11 schools for our entire school district. We have from kindergarten up to 8th grade. And you can see I'm really into Google. I'm certified level 1 and 2. I got to present Q in 2019. Last year I didn't get accepted, but this year I will be presenting 2 sessions also there. So going from there. So maybe you're thinking about spreadsheets. I don't know how familiar you guys are with spreadsheets, but a lot of people think spreadsheets are only for principals and secretaries, and that is not true. And if you guys think about, I don't know, our students here, we get a survey every year. And one of the questions is, do you use spreadsheets to the students? And I remember in the classroom, they'd all go, what's a spreadsheet, right? Well, they need to learn spreadsheets because I'm sure all of you guys use spreadsheets, right? All the time. And our school district, you probably have something like this. They have to have participation logs that have to be completed every day, right? Those are spreadsheets. And if you use something like Freckle Education, those are spreadsheets on the data. Your grade book is a spreadsheet, right? If you use Renaissance with AR and STAR, those are spreadsheets, right? If you're into Google Forms and it converts to spreadsheets. So our whole life is spreadsheets, right? We compile data and we sort and we rearrange data. And it's a way that, I mean, I do this all the time because one of my jobs is every single training. We have trainings Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays for our teachers every single week. And I have to make a Google form every single week. And then I have to get the spreadsheet and I have to sort it and I have to send it back to the principals and to my bosses. But we're going to do art with it. Okay. And if your principals, I'm sure at this point with COVID and with our remote teaching, and hopefully some of you guys are in the classroom with hybrid, ours is just still remote. We have the highest like COVID rate in the whole state. So we're praying hard to go back, but maybe one day. Anyways, if your principal ever gives you like flack on why are you doing this lesson that I'm going to give you, you can refer them back to the California Education Code. I'm not sure I understand. No, that's not what I was calling you, Siri. It's like, what? So anyways, the California Ed Code talks about students need to have aesthetic appreciation. And you guys just participated in creative expression in the breakout rooms during lunch, right? It's very important. And art in itself, as you guys know, because you're here, boosts school attendance and academic achievement and college enrollment rates, and gives students higher self-esteem. And what's the big one right now that we need? SEL, right? Social emotional learning. Art does that for them. So I did have one principal once that was kind of like, you know what, we need you to do that after school, not during school. I'm like, hello, it's important. So the artists I want to focus on today, and I'm giving you a lot of background because I want you to teach about the artist and not just give a lesson, okay? And this is the artist I always start with my students. His name is Piet Mondrian. Very famous. When I show you his work, you're going to go, oh yeah, I've seen that, okay? And my daughter actually went to art school and she was so proud of me because she's like, you're teaching your students about Piet Mondrian? I'm like, yes, I am. So he was a Dutch painter and he lived between he was born in 1872 to 1944, okay? And what's really cool about him, he began his career as a teacher, just like us. And while he was teaching, he was practicing painting, just like me. That's what I do. So I'm like, wow, we're very similar that way. So his paintings are abstract, and what they are based on is a white background. And then he had a grid of vertical and horizontal black lines, and then he filled them randomly with the 3 primary colors. So maybe you're getting an idea, even if you didn't know this was his name, of what this is. So there is something called the elements of art, and we're going to be using 3 of those elements in just this one project, because we're going to be working on the element of line, and then the element of shape. Shape are flat 2D geometric figures, and we're going to be using color. So it's important when you're teaching this lesson that you talk to your students about the elements of art. And when I give you this presentation later in the chat box, there is a link to this document, okay? When you click on it. There's also something called the principles of design. And we will be using 2 of them. We'll be using the value, which has to do with the lightness or darkness of a surface. And we'll be using space, because there's positive and negative space, okay? So in just that one lesson, it's sort of like when you're teaching the certain lesson and you're covering 5 standards, right? We're covering 3 elements and 2 principles of design. And again, this document also has a link to it. Next. Okay, so this is what Piet Mondrian art looks like. This is his basic work. As you can see, a white background, vertical and horizontal grids, and the 3 primary colors, which are red, blue, and yellow. These colors, with these colors, all other colors are created. And that's why they're called the primary colors. They cannot be created, they exist as they are. So here's some more examples of his work. You can see there's going to be a lot of white or negative space that is left over, okay? I love this one. Anybody want to unmute and tell me what they see there? It's pretty cool.
The Earth world, or?
Yep, the continents. Isn't that the coolest thing? And it's made with Piet Mondrian style. He didn't create it, somebody else did, but it's based on his work. So also you can see in fashion, architecture, advertising, design, you're going to see his style of work. I actually own this box. You can get it to Container Store. When I saw it, I was like, yes. And so I love Piet Mondrian. So what we're going to be doing in a moment is based on the work of Eric Kurtz. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of him, but his website is called controlaltachieve.com. And he's given us the instructions, and he's also given us the template to be able to use. Later on, he explains if you want your students to actually create the templates, you could. But to start off with, usually when I did this just as paper pencil, I started with crayons. They had to use rulers and pencils, and then crayons, and then Sharpies. And then I let them use markers, and then I let them use paint on a canvas. So we're going to do it on the computer, but if you want them to do it also in person like that, you could ask them that way too. Before we actually have you create, and you will be creating a moment, I'm going to also give you, when you get the slide deck, if you click here on the Orange County Q orange, it goes to a slide deck where you're going to share your creation with us, okay? But I want to show you what else can you do once they do the Piet Mondrian. You can integrate with math. You can have them find what is the fraction of each of the colors of their shapes. Okay, and this one is very complicated. I'm going to ask you to start with, do something more simple and then work more complicated, right? Or you could have them find the area and the perimeter of each of the colors and the different shapes. So there's a lot you can do with it other than, but it is important that they understand they're creating a spreadsheet. And then I have some more resources for you. This is also a document. It goes to somebody that created an idea of different artists that you could use for operations and algebraic thinking, measurement and data, number and operations, and also geometry. And that's where Piet Mondrian is, under geometry. And the reason I also was able to connect with your Orange County Q is because on Facebook, I'm a member of Kim Vogue's Empower Adventure. If you guys are on Facebook or don't really care about Facebook, I would suggest you join it just to get into the group, because Kim has shared, and you guys probably know her very well because of your area, but she shares and other people share so many wonderful things on that Facebook group. And then on Twitter also, I've learned so much from her. So just on that. Okay, let me go back. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go to give you the link in the presentation in just a moment. Here it comes. We're going to go back to this page here. And like I said, when you click on it here too, you're also, it takes you right to what we're going to work on. So let me give you the link. I made it so everybody can get it here. Okay, so go ahead and click on your link. And I'm going to show you what it's going to look like, what you're going to do. The rest of the time that we're together, I want you to create and then also share out. So as soon as you get that open, you can watch what I'm doing here, and I'm going to give you the steps. And I really like how Eric Kurtz has set this up, because again, if you need to go back and remember how to do it, he also has like all the steps and almost with little videos too on Piet Mondrian. It's coming. Things are always slow to open when you're on Zoom. Okay, so down here at the bottom of the spreadsheet, instead of sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, he has the sheet 2 is directions. It's still opening here. Trying to get, there it goes. So, and then it has the create, and he's already made the whole template for you, which is really cool. Here it goes. And you're like, that doesn't look like a spreadsheet, does it? Because what he's already done for us, he's made them into squares. So let me read to you the directions. And then again up here, he has his blog post so you can see it more in depth again. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to merge some cells. And so we're going to learn to use some of the tools that are on a spreadsheet, which is important because we need to teach our students, just like you've taught them about Google Docs and Google Slides and Google Drawings, they need to know about Google Spreadsheets. Okay, so we're going to merge cells, and then we're going to add color to the cells. That's number 2. And then we're at the end, when we're all done with that, and he's actually added the colors, the true primary colors to his template, which is amazing. We're going to delete extra columns and rows because maybe you're not going to use the entire canvas, okay? And then you're going to share your creation. So let me show you here on the create. What you're going to do is click on the first one. There's several ways, but you can hold down your shift key. And I'm going to go over here. And then there's 2 ways to merge. Right here where I'm circling is the merge key, or you can go to format.
I'm sorry, which slide were we supposed to get the link for? There's.
Okay, yes, let me go back to that. It is on slide number 23.
Are we
Sorry.
supposed to click on the instructions, or then and then in there, which one?
No, if you click, go ahead and click on where the whole, where it says make a Mondrian Google Sheets.
I just pasted a link directly to his make a copy of the document, if that's helpful.
Okay.
That is helpful. Thank you. It's in the chat.
Okay. And then remember, you have to make a copy of it, right? Because it's a view only. Okay. So again, once you have that highlighted, that area, you can go to format and go down the merge cells if that's easier for you. Some people prefer that, or you can use over here where the merge one is, and you just click merge. Okay. And then you find something else. Okay, I want to go down to maybe here. I'm going to make a rectangle this way. So you're going to start making some rectangles and some squares. Maybe this time I'll make a square. Nope, it didn't make a square. So I have to think about what a square means. So that's something else you possibly need to teach your students, that a square has equal sides, all 4 sides equal, and talk about what a rectangle is versus a square. And of course, a square is a perfect rectangle, so you can tell them that. So was everybody able to open up and get on? It's the 3rd one where it says create, and get on your template. I want to make sure everybody's good on that. We're good? Okay. If not, go ahead and put it in the chat box, and Terry's there to help me. So just keep on creating here. I think it's easy to use that merge button, merge cells.
Hi, Susan. This is Alice. Did you say that we could get the link on slide number 23?
Yes, when you go to slide number 23, watch here. If you click right here on this big picture,
Yeah, I click on the picture. Yeah,
click on the picture.
yeah. And I open up the spreadsheet. It's like exactly like that picture, the Make, Mondrian, Art, and Google Sheets, right?
So go across. There's 3 sheets at the bottom of the spreadsheet, and the third one's called Create. When you click on Create, then it opens. Thank you for asking, because I did go a little bit fast. Sorry about that.
And the link is in the chat if you need the link. And if you scroll up in the chat, the link to the presentation is also in the chat.
Thank you, Terry.
The link in the chat forces you to make a copy, which is good because everybody who's using the link in the spreadsheet might not be making a copy.
Oh, yes. Make a copy, guys. Yeah. Yeah, I believe this one is closed to me. Hopefully, let's see. Because I don't see anybody working on it. I see people open it. Yeah, it says, yeah, I put it as view only. Yes, so remember to make a copy. And that way you have the master one that's view only. So I see there's 5 people on it right now.
And I just put the link for the slide deck again in the chat. So they're
Thank
both
you.
the spreadsheets on the bottom and then the presentation.
How are we doing? Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody? Okay, so when you're ready, the only thing that is a little bit limiting, and my husband was watching me last night and he goes, what happens if you want to take the first one away? I'm like, no, I don't think it lets you unmerge it. So that was, I'm going to try, but format, see if I merge, unmerge. Let me see if it will let me unmerge. No, see, when I tried the unmerge, it doesn't let me really. It went like, you can see it in the background. So I would suggest not to try to do that. But again, this is a simple template to start with, right? And then the other thing that I wanted to do that I wasn't able to do was I wanted some thicker lines around it. So to be able to do a thick line, what I had to do is merge the cells like this, and then fill it with black. And then it became like a thick line, because I wanted some thick versus thin lines to kind of accentuate it, and it didn't let me. So when you're ready to put some colors in, all you do is go to the paint bucket here, which is the same one that's in your Google Docs, and I mean Google Slides and Google Drawings. And check out down here at the bottom, custom. Eric Kurtz has provided us with those 3 true primary colors, which you could use the ones up here, right? But some people might use the light. And Eric, Piet Mondrian, he's famous for his value is dark. It's a strong value, not a light. So a lot of my students, when they were doing it with crayons, they would do it all light red. It was almost pink, like blue. I go, well, that's nice. But if you want to do a true Piet Mondrian, he did primary colors and with a dark value. No, I don't like that one next to the black. So I'm going to change it and go to yellow. That looks better. And remember, he does leave open some just white, and that's okay. So you can merge and then you can make it white. Okay? You just leave it and it stays white. Because you do want to have, so that the space is negative spaces, the white, and the colors are the positive space. That's where if something is happening, it's a positive, okay? Remember, we're talking about lines, the element of art, lines. As you guys are creating, I'll just talk to you a little bit more about that. And so lines are vertical and horizontal that we're using, okay? And we're using different shapes that are two-dimensional shapes, and we're using rectangles and squares of different sizes, okay? So we had line, shape, color. We're using the 3 primary colors. The value, we're using a dark value, not a light value, unless you want to say the white versus the black, right? So I'm going to give you about 5 more minutes to work on your creations. We have until 1:45. Okay. So everybody knows how to hold down, like click on one, hold down the shift, and then highlight, right? And if you don't, it's okay that you ask, because not everybody has gone through all of this. Merge. So again, excuse me, it's important that we use the correct vocabulary, academic language with our students. And we talk to them about how I used the wrong blue. Oh, I did use that blue there. And this one seemed like a different blue. I went down there. Oh, it's his. I like the bright blue better, huh? Oh, wow. But just like we do in math and ELA and social studies and science, when we're teaching art, we need to use academic language. And they will pick it up quickly because it's fun and interesting to do. So about 3 more minutes, and then I'm going to show you how to get rid of the extra space that you're not going to use in your drawing. No. No. Like that. Okay. Cells. 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 So it's up to you if you want to just do all your shapes first and then add color, or if you want to do like I am and kind of, it helps me to start seeing it when I add some color to it. When I have them do it on paper, pencil, or a canvas, I do make them create everything first before they paint, obviously.
Susan, on your share document where you want people to share their creations,
Oh, yes.
I think you need to make it public.
Okay.
Anyone with the link, because it's requesting access.
Okay. So as soon as I open this, just add your name at the bottom, and then we'll talk about, yeah, we still got 15 minutes to talk about what to do, because that's our next step. You're right. Sorry about that. Come on, open up. Anyone with the link? Okay, there it goes.
There you go. That works now. Thank you.
Okay, there you go. Okay, one more minute. Get as much done as you can. So again, if you want some black to fill in, you're allowed to do that too.
Could you remind us how to share what we've done again?
Okay, yeah, we're gonna go over that right now. Let me just finish here. Yeah, and then we'll go over the steps on the share.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Black. One more, I almost got it all. Merge. And yellow. And that one is gonna be black. I think I'm gonna go here. Merge. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is, you notice you probably have all this extra stuff that you don't want, right? So we gotta get rid of that. So what you're gonna do is highlight across to a certain point, and then you have to go to the edit menu, and you're going to, you can see down here it says delete rows to the 17, no, delete columns Y to AT. I think I need to delete my columns, so be careful. You can always undo. So I'm gonna delete those columns. Okay, now I'm getting better, right? But I still got some more here that I need because I've got all these rows too. So let me get my rows. So go under your drawing and then hold down and get down to the bottom as far as you can. Go to the edit menu, and this time I'm gonna go delete rows 18 to 33. So I'm getting there, I've almost got it. So now I need to delete just row 18, edit, delete row 18. And now I just have a couple columns over here that I still need to delete. So edit, delete, no. Let me make sure it was highlighted. It should be columns. So edit, delete columns, yep. So now you should have just your drawing. Well, got out of it, create. So everybody try that and then ask me if you have any questions on that. You've got to have the drawing part. We're good? Okay, so I'm going to go back to his directions to see what he says about it. He says you can share the Google Sheet. You can share it, share the Google Sheet. Okay, like what? Or you can print it out, or you can export it as a PDF, or you can screen capture if you want to do a screen cut. So it's up to you. Okay, you could go file and you could download it as it says we have what, a PDF. You don't have a PNG, huh? I want it as a PNG. But I guess slides, you can do that. So you could download it as a PDF, okay? Or if you know how, I'm on a Mac, so I do my control, my shift command 4, and I could do a screenshot of it, right? And if you guys are on a PC, you can do Windows key, Shift S, and that's how you can snip it. If you're not, I'm sure how to do that. Windows key, Shift S, okay? And then you're going to go back to the slide deck, and find slide number 24. When you go to slide number 24, you click on the orange, and that will take you to the slide deck. And then there's different ones, so you just claim a slide and put your name on it where it says your name. Just click on there and add your name. And then go ahead and paste. So I'll take slide number 1. And since I did a screenshot, if you're on a PC, then you just have to,
It's on view only, not, we can't edit yet.
is it view only? Okay, sorry about that. My bad. I know this happens all the time. I know. Okay, you're right. So sorry. Editor. Okay. There you go. I know I'm always careful because I don't want people like messing up my documents when I share them with teachers at my school sites, but, and then I do it to you guys. Insert, I have to insert image because on a Mac, it goes into my desktop. So, oh, there it is. So I'm just gonna save it there. Oh, I see somebody, wow, somebody has a lot on theirs. Awesome. Whoa, I love this. Nice. Thank you, Steve. And Krista, nice. That's what, I mean, everybody's is unique. That's the beauty of it. So let's see who this is. Teresa's. Somebody can take slide number 2. It's still available. We have too many people on slide number 4. 2 is open. Nice, Sabrina, thank you. And Lisa, thank you. Wow. Look at all those little ones. And with that, it's a lot, with how Lisa did it, it's a lot easier. If you want the students to start working on the fractional part, it's easier if you do leave some little ones there, because that will help them. I was at a conference on Tuesday with Joe Bowler, if you guys know who that is, the wonderful mathematician. And she's a professor at Stanford here in California. And she's amazing. And one of our projects was, it was taken off of Piet Mondrian right away. My boss is like, I know that, because I taught him a class. He came to one of the classes I taught. And so we had to find the fractional part in breakout rooms. It was really cool. Patricia, love it. Love it. Terry, nice. Michelle, thank you. Wow, you guys are amazing. There's another Terry's. Wow. And here comes Deborah's. Good. Let's see who was on slide number 2 now. Pamela, nice. Very cool. So you guys feel proud of yourselves? Because you should. This is amazing.
Yeah, these are awesome. We
Amazing.
have about 5 minutes left.
Okay, so just to remind you, when you go, just to show you what's here for you too, when you click here for Eric Kurtz, it's also inside of the other one. But so this comes to where I found it. And actually I found it like 2 years ago on the web, and I always wanted to do it. And I was like, I have to learn this. It's not that hard. So he goes over Piet Mondrian a little bit more. And then he's got 2 short videos that you could use with your students. It's coming. Just taking a moment. Here it comes. So he's got the videos, okay? And then he talks about the template, and he has the link here again. And then he shows how he made the square cells, which is kind of interesting. So again, if you want to teach your students, if you have older students that might be interested in doing this, he resized them to a 24 to make them squares. And then he talks about how he made the thick borders for us already, okay? It's kind of cool. He talks about how he added the primary colors and about merging the cells and about coloring the cells, about how to delete. So again, if you need more like specific instructions to remember what the steps are, and then here it has about sharing, how to print, it's all right here. And then when you print, make sure he says to fit it to width, okay? So that it comes out right if you are wanting to, or if you want to save it as a PDF. So again, it's just, I was just really glad to come upon his presentation because, and I want to share with you, and I hope you guys share with other people in your school sites, because art is like near and dear to my heart. You can see behind me all the paintings from my daughter and myself. It's very important. And if any of you guys, I see Kristen has some paintings behind her of flowers too. And I see Craig has something up there. Yeah, you guys, I mean, art is, it's very important, and it's something that's been a little bit lost, right? So I hope that this touched your hearts, and that you can go bless your kids with an art project. Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Susan. I also have a little pixel art conditional formatted sheet that I've used with littles that I'm putting in the chat too. That's much more basic, but it's kind of a fun thing to start with the little ones. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Were there any questions?
I just have something to add on to that pixel art one. If you're into Facebook, there is a pixel art Facebook group where people freely share things as well. So I don't know what it is off the top of my head, so I can't share it. But I think if you Google it, or go into Facebook and search it, it'll be there.
And Lisa, you are amazing too. All your math. Oh my gosh. I know
Thanks.
you are. And that's something that I've pushed out to all my teachers, to doing the number of the day and all. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah.
Yay.
Yes.
And we have a book coming out, so.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like, yay.
And I just wanted to say, I teach computer science and business and finance and accounting and business internship. And I've always been very on top of teaching kids spreadsheets. They would do a picture assignment and I would teach them shift click, merge, using the toolbars and treating it like something that you can learn by clicking and gaining agency through that and learning software. In computer science, the spreadsheet returns a function. When you type in equals 1 + 1, it returns 2. So it's there's a lot of computer science that's easy there. But for the accounting students, I would get pictures, anything you can translate into a spreadsheet's great, just for any teacher when you can. But I will say, what Microsoft Excel doesn't do that Google does well is you design the Google form, you capture the results directly into a spreadsheet, and you use that information live. I use my daily coding logs that way. And as I see responses come in, it's the ticket out the door. There's a million things you can do with that. So this is a great session. Just thank you.
Thank you, Craig. He's going to make me cry. Oh my gosh. I think it's so important. Again, what my students would say, spreadsheet, what's a spreadsheet? And I use them every single day now. So we got to learn, make it fun. Okay, well, I guess we go back to the main room then, Terry?
Yep.
And thank you,
Thanks,
Terry, for
everybody.
being moderator and helping me with the chat and everything.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was great.
We're right on time, too, 1:45.
Perfect.
Yep.